let's go over how to add a check payment method in OwnerRez. To get to payment methods, go to Settings, then scroll down and click Payment Methods. To add a check payment method, click Connect to Payment Method, then scroll down and click Add Check option. Here you'll be asked the name for the guest to make the check out to, where the guest should send the check, and any other instructions you want the guest to see. And below that, you can choose to have this as an active payment method, and you can choose which property you'd like to accept checks for. I'll go ahead and fill this out. Now that I've filled out all the necessary info, I can scroll down and click Save. We now see we have a check option available for guests. When adding a check payment option, you'll want to go to your properties, select the property, then go to Rules, then click Change, and here you'll want to make sure all the settings are correct for accepting checks. For example, in order to take offline payments, the arrival date must be a minimum number of days in the future. The default is 15 days, but if you'd like this to be shorter or longer, you can click in here and change that. If someone tries to book a last-minute booking and it's less than 15 days before they arrive, they will need to pay using your credit card processor. This is important because you don't want somebody being able to book last minute, then select to send a check, and then that check not arriving or clearing the bank before the booking arrives. Below that, we have pending and auto cancellation for checks. This is important. If you're waiting for a check and it doesn't come, auto cancel makes sure that the system cancels the booking for you so you don't forget. The system sends out reminders to both you and the guest during the auto cancel day period. It emails every 5 days and then the day before cancellation to remind you and the guest. Once you manually record the check payment for the booking, the pending flag goes away. Currently, we have this set to auto cancel in 14 days if we don't receive the check payment. You can choose to turn auto cancel off if you'd like, or you can adjust the amount of days. If you make any changes here, be sure to scroll to the bottom and click Save. Now let's look at the guest side for choosing check as a payment option. We'll go to Quotes, and then look at an open quote. Inside of a quote, you can look at the Rules tab, and then click Change, and if we scroll down, you can make adjustments to just this quote if you'd like. For example, to offer them a check payment option, you can adjust the minimum amount of days in the future to allow checks, and below that you can adjust the auto cancellation as well. This will only affect this quote, but if you want to adjust this globally, you'll need to do that in the property rules like we just showed. If everything is good here, we can take a look at the payment form. This will show us what the guests will see. We'll go ahead and click No, I do not want travel protection, and if we scroll down to the bottom, the guests will see how they can pay. They can pay using your credit card processor, but they can also pay using check. We'll go ahead and click Looks Good, Finish Booking. And now I'll go ahead and fill in the point of contact form as if I were the guest. Now that I've done that, I'll go ahead and click Continue to Renter Agreement. The guest can view the renter agreement and then agree and sign. Then they'll click I accept Submit Payment. At the payment page, they can choose to pay using a credit card, or now they can choose to pay using a check in the mail. If they click this, they'll see instructions for payment by check, they'll see where to send it, and they'll see the grace period. When they're ready, they can click Continue to Confirmation, and here they'll see the total amount that they need to send in the first check, and the amount they'll need to send in the second check, 30 days before arrival. They'll also see the security deposit, which is due 1 day before arrival. The guest can go ahead and finalize this booking by clicking Confirm and Finalize Now. Once the guest has finalized the booking, they will see what they need to do now and instructions on how to send the check. Now let's head back to OwnerRez and take a look at a pending booking where the guest selected check as their payment method. Here in the Bookings tab in the list view, we see that this booking is pending, and if you hover over, you can see when it's pending till. You can also see this in the ribbon view by finding a booking that has an hourglass next to it, and if you hover over, you'll see when the booking is pending till. We can also see the same thing in the month view. Let's go ahead and click in. Here at the top, we'll see a red bar letting us know when the booking is pending till, which is February 18th, 2021, which is 14 days from now. If the payment doesn't arrive by that date, the booking will be auto-canceled. You can also select Change Pending Status, and here you can select Remove Pending Flag and make this booking permanent. You can also extend the pending date by going to the Rules tab, then click Change Rules, and then scroll down. Then here, under Pending and Auto Cancellation, you can extend this date if you'd like. Once you've done that, you can scroll to the bottom and click Save. Now we see the date is updated and reflected at the top, and you still have the option to change the pending status if you'd like. You can also see the auto cancellation reminders that you and the guest will receive by going to the Email tab. Then when you scroll down, you'll see Reminders, and here you'll see a payment reminder which will be sent 10 days before, 5 days before, and on the due date, which is the 8th of February. If you click Send Now, you can preview that email reminder, and you can click in and edit it if you'd like. Now let's say you receive the first check from the guest. You can go to the Transactions tab, then go to Payments, and then click Record Payment. If they sent you the first payment, which would be $1,155, you'll leave the first option checked, but if they sent you the remaining balance, you can check this. Or if they sent you a custom amount, you can enter that here. We'll go ahead and record the first payment. You can also record if there were any fees or notes, and here you can enter when you receive the payment from the guest. I'll go ahead and say February 3rd. You can also select the type. You can say bank transfer, cash, check, credit card processed elsewhere, and PayPal. We're going to go ahead and select check. And here you can add the check number and the check date and the check type. I'll go ahead and do that now. Once you've entered in all the information, you can choose to send a payment notification to yourself and a payment receipt to the guest. We'll go ahead and click Save. And here we see the email we'll send to the guest. Then when you're ready, click Send Email. Now we see the payment details that we just recorded. And now if we go back to Transactions, we'll see what we just processed, and we'll see what the guest balance is. Now let's go back to the Email tab, then scroll down and take a look at the payment reminder now. We'll go ahead and click Send Now, and here we see it mentions that the final payment is due February 8th, which is 4 days from now. But let's say this guest wanted to pay in check for the first payment and then pay with a credit card for the second payment. To do that, you'll need to go to the Transactions tab, then under Payments, click Request Payment from Guest. Here you can select how much the guest should pay, but in this case, we're going to select the top option, which is whatever is due at the moment based on the booking's rules, which would be the rest of the guest's balance. You can leave a note if you'd like, and you can preview the link that they'll be sent. Here we see the guest can select the total remaining balance and then choose to pay now by credit card or PayPal if you have that set up. They can enter in their card information here and then click Continue to Confirmation. I'll go ahead and do that now. Next, the guest will be shown a confirmation page where they can see the breakdown and then they can select Submit Payment. Now the guest will see that their payment has been submitted. Let's go ahead and jump back to OwnerRez. And now if we go back to the bookings page in OwnerRez, we'll see that that booking is now confirmed. And we can click in and see that the total owed is now $0. If we go to the Transactions tab, we'll see that we have the first payment by check and then the second payment by card. If for some reason you wanted to search to find all payments by check, you can go to Reports. Then from here, you can scroll down and select Payments under Detailed Reports. And then under Payment Type, we're going to select Check. Now you can set any other criteria you'd like and then click Run Report. And here we'll see the booking we were just looking at. Any other bookings where you accepted a check will fall under this list, and you can export it if you'd like. That is how to accept checks in OwnerRez.